Hi, my name is Steve Dubose, and I recently discovered the Texas Jail Project, um, and I read articles, and I have something to contribute. Please bear with me, and I apologize. I suffer from complex PTSD, and for me to write things out, it's almost impossible because my handwriting sucks because of my shakes, and also I have problems. I have problems writing things down as I want to say them. So making a video is due um, to my disabilities, and but I did want to share this story. Thank you very much for all your articles that I have read and all the articles that are upcoming. In this video, it piggybacks on current cases that you're working on, but I don't know if you're aware or unaware of those. So I wanted to actually um, share these with you. Also, the information and research that I've obtained through the Freedom of Information request from personal accounts, from witnesses, and also from the reports that were given to uh, the Texas Commission on Jail Standards. So, first of all, I hope I know the video is probably not the best way to do this, but in the email, I will leave my contact information for further information, or if you have any questions or concerns about these matters. In 2022, there was a settlement for Ms. Hartman, who died in the Angelina County Jail. This lawsuit was settled for $476,000. The reason why the amount was lower was because the fact is that the difficulty that was obtained by the Fifth District Court, and also the Attorney General, and also that's my buddy calling me right now. He's involved in this case as well. So anyway, let me turn this off. But anyway, so Miss Hartman, she died in Angelina County Jail, settled for $476,000, and for a death that seems like it's pretty low, but it was due to the fact that how the case was handled, and also mishandled by Angelina County, the commissioners, and also uh, Texas Commission on Jail Standards. Ms. Hartman checked in, and she died after 34 attempts, 34 requests to guard personnel in the Angelina County Jail to seek medical attention. Ms. Hartman it's hard to determine whether she had pneumonia when she went in or if she developed pneumonia while she was in the jail. However, the fact is the mold and the actual environment that she was placed into only could contribute to the pneumonia. All these requests that she asked to see the medical doctor were denied. They were denied by jail staff. The quote was, "Oh, she's just faking." Now they're medical doctors. I'll try to keep it on point. That's the first one, and it was actually settled. The next one we have is Mr. Glenn Earl Smallwood. Mr. Smallwood passed away July 19th. He was 23, and he was transported. He was transported to a Luft hospital. The story on Mr. Smallwood was that we have the video of him being arrested by the Lufkin Police Department. It is obvious. It's evident by the video that he was not in his right mind. He was talking to other people. He was talking to others that were not there. He was rambling on. And at one point, the officer asked him, "Who you talking to?" And he stated, "Well, that's my girlfriend," and there was nobody over there. So he was talking, hearing voices, the whole 9 yards. When he checked into the hospital, he was not declared mentally ill or any other fact except for he was intoxicated. There was no statement of what he was intoxicated on. There was no record except for the fact is they put him in the detox cell just for him to sober up. The key point is that medical personnel did examine him on his arrival at Angelina County Jail, but when the blood pressure was taken, she said the quote, it was high, but it was in range of an intoxicated person. That right there raises the question. I won't raise questions. I'll just leave these facts up to you so you can make your own determination. Mr. Smallwood uh, was supposed to be checked on every 10 to 15 minutes. I believe it's 10 minutes. This was not done so. Mr. Smallwood was found. Uh, he was found in his cell at 11:30 or 11:36, at approximately 11:36. But he was pronounced dead at 11:36 per the coroner's report. So this individual was he passed away inside the county jail. Now, the interesting part is that on the death certificate, it was stated that he had died from at 11:36, and that it was an accident. It wasn't an accidental overdose. He did have amphetamine in his system, but it was not enough to actually cause the overdose. The key factor here is that if you look through the booking report, he was not booked until 12:28. He died at 11:36. He was not booked till 12:28. When asked, the sheriff stated, "Well, it must have been a typo. It was a typo." Okay, but this report was actually filled out by hand. The individuals who were actually in charge of his care performed restraints on this individual, didn't even note that he was actually in restraints. But we know this because of the fact that restraints were mentioned by the coroner in the key spots where restraints had been applied. It was never reported that he was actually in restraints at any particular time when he was in Angelina County Jail. So CPR was administered, and also the medical personnel was not present, nor was the supervisor when he was placed in restraints. It was not supervised. Item 17 of the Standard Operating Procedure of Angelina County Jail states that the performance or the application of restraints is done by on-the-job training, which leads us to believe they had no certified training in restraints, or the individuals who applied the restraints were not licensed to. A further check into Angelina County Jail, and this is a common occurrence. Either the individuals have not attended the class, or they have not done their yearly follow-up to encompass all the changes that have happened to all the policies. This is where the fresher comes in. There's not been any evidence produced by Sheriff Selman and/or Angelina County that shows these certificates were available. When questioned, the answer was no. We do not have any certificates of restraints. We do not have any certificates for CPR administration, and we do not have the name and the number of the individual, or we cannot provide the name of the individual who actually did the medical report, because of the fact is that it was a contractor. The contractor's name is Pacific Healthcare Partners. I don't know if you guys have run into this, but they keep occurring in the South. They are a major player in contract medical contracts in Texas. Now, it gets ugly because the fact is that once I found out about this death, it questioned me. All these details questioned me. I had questions. So I requested at that particular time, the personnel that was on duty. I requested the time logs from the time that he actually checked in, all information from that I could obtain between the time he checked in to the time of his death, which was 11:36. Even the video. The sheriff and the county attorney came back and said that due to privacy concerns, and also due to possible terrorist attacks, that they could not disclose, that this would disclose the cameras and their location, including computer screens and highly sensitive information about the jail. Now, This is statement came after the fact is we have a photo of the sheriff who's standing in front of the schematic drawings of the entire jail, including the expansion that they want to put onto this jail. So it went to the Attorney General, who now gets involved, or the Attorney General, now he gets involved. He declares that they have a good point and the video does not have to be released based on privacy concerns and also the reasons I've stated before. Now, the sheriff also stated that the grand jury did not find any means for further investigations or charges to be brought. This is due to the reason, the fact that the grand jury never saw the video. The report that Sheriff Selman produced is not available. It hasn't been provided to the commissioners, hasn't been provided to the public, no one. The Texas Rangers report actually goes by and just takes the statement from Sheriff Selman at his word of what actually happened. There were no witnesses interviewed. No one was disposed. No trustees, no one who was there in attendance were interviewed or depositioned or put on record. These individuals were there and actually saw all the incidences. However, we're supposed to take a report by a sheriff who wasn't even there. We've seen this. You guys reported on this before, and one of your further stories was that they all got together. They all said, "Okay, this is what happened," or whatever. Then they presented this information to the Texas Rangers, who, because of the thin blue line, they actually just take the county. They actually take the sheriff's report and run with that. And the Texas Ranger report, no interviews, no testimony, no disposition. No one was asked over these current events, those events available that night, except for Sheriff Selman, who is the sheriff of the cell. The commissioners, when asked to review information that they received from the jail, stated they do not have any information. So in other words, now we have the commissioners who are in charge of the budget. For Sheriff Selman, they don't even get a report. The whole thing stinks to high heaven. Mr. Selman stated that he would not release the video to the family because of the fact is the damage that it may incur and or show exactly what happened and who all was actually involved in that night. The brother has actually filed a civil lawsuit because of the death. However, the fact is it is stuck in the 5th District Court because, as you know as well as I do, having to deal with the 5th District Court, they take their sweet time. There's also witnesses that have been identified in this civil case that are supposed to be subpoenaed to appear in court and actually make their statements, but the 5th District Court refuses not to allow the marshals to serve these individuals. This is not the first case that we've had, and if you have run across in the 5th District Court on these type of issues, especially on the coverage that you actually guys had on Boxer County. This totally, when I read the story that you guys produced, I was like, this is identical type of cover-up. That's what's happening there regarding a video. HB 30 went in effect on September 1st of 2023, signed off by our governor, which is questionable why he didn't sign it earlier. HB 30 was actually meant to close the dead man's loophole, which stated unless a person had been convicted, the video could not be used. This turned this around, or if a person died in custody, then the video did not have to be released. HB 30 changed all that. It changed. The fact is that the new sheriff in town, they said, well, by Congress, they initiated it. Paxton had to actually, and the governor had to sign it because it had House and Senate approval, and it went into effect. In this case, Sheriff Selman says, well, the statement, it's not retroactive. So in other words, anything that happened before September 25th, all these deaths could have been covered up and put into the dead man's loophole, which is actually what's done here. Because Mr. Smallwood's death occurred before September the 1st. This gave him a legal out, and actually the Attorney General actually stated in his comments that it was just his opinion, and none of this information was reviewed by the Attorney General and or any other individuals except for Sheriff Selman. No one else has seen this video. The second case, which is within a year, Mr. Stolik. Mr. Stolik was Michael Alice Stolik. Come on, man, come on. Was booked in Angelina County Jail at 11:06, July 21st, 2024. Tragically, he died approximately 36 hours. He was only 46 years old, and he had been housed in a detox cell. The Angelina County Sheriff's Office, under the direction of Sheriff Selman, filed a custodial death, a CDR, about Mr. Stolik's situation on July 26, 2024. He was arrested on an alcohol/drug offense, misdemeanor, and public intoxication. As we actually have seen, he was actually put up as Mr. Smallwood. Public intoxication threw in a detox cell, and where he stayed 3 days without any medical attention, without anybody saying, "Hey, this guy." They just put him in. They put him in a detox cell, and decided today they were going to detox him according to their standards or their personal opinion, and no medical personnel was actually on scene and or monitor his situation. You know as well as I do, if there's an individual in a detox cell, every 6 hours that the medical personnel actually have to physically see these individuals, take their vital signs, actually prove the fact that this type of detox was working or it was getting worse. No records of this. Once again, we have he's appeared to be intoxicated. The CDR shows it means the death of Mr. Stolik was a drug overdose, though the results of an autopsy are pending. Pending on what? It does not matter if an individual is mentally, physically sick, has experiencing an overdose, has experiencing all these things, which makes him totally not in control of his functions, to be treated any differently. Once you take possession of an individual into a county jail, you're not only responsible for his detainment, but you're also responsible for his medical needs. This was not done. Allegedly intoxicated from methamphetamine. We have yet to find out. We have yet to determine, or have we yet to see a Texas Ranger report, or have we seen a report from Sheriff Selman? The names of the information of the people who were there, who were involved, would not be released by Sheriff Selman. Basically, any information that you request per the Freedom of Information Act to the Angelina County Jail is non-existent. They will not produce it. Now, we all know, and you guys know way more than I do, the games that they play to actually keep and hide evidence of actually malfeasance. Your individuals had an interview with an ACLU representative, and I read that thoroughly, and his statement was right on with what is happening, not only in Boxer County, but also here in Angelina County, and one can only assume what other counties this is going on. So we have had 2 deaths in Angelina County Jail, all put in detox, all ended up passing away. Now, this is not even enough to warrant an investigation by the Texas Commission on Texas Commission of Law Enforcement, They won't even issue a statement. In Mr. Smallwood's death, I actually put in a Freedom of Information request and put out a complaint to Jail Standards, Texas Commission on Jail Standards. I received a phone call saying there's nothing that they can do. This is disturbing to me because the fact is that you were there to monitor the standards of these jails, and when they're non-compliant, you do not take action. You put them on a non-compliant list. Like I said, 2 deaths have occurred in Angelina County within a year, and they haven't been inspected. There's no record of inspection from the law enforcement agency or from TCO. Oh, no, it's Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. Okay. No information will be released by them. And they actually physically stated that they cannot do anything legally, or they cannot do anything pertaining to the individuals who were involved. Basically, this is what they told me on the phone, that we can't do anything. Today, we have 12 posted by you on your webpage. I believe it's 11 or 12. Correct me if I'm wrong. But 11 or 12 jails that are held non-compliant. Multiple instances in each jail. However, the fact is that we do not even, after 2 deaths, we do not even have an inspection done by Jail Standards. They deny any information to be released. They will not comment. And I have put in a Freedom of Information request for the entire report from Mr. Stolic's death. Now, we are waiting on that Freedom of Information request. Normally, the Freedom of Information request, it's been 10 to 14 days. Having had to deal with these people before, they will not answer within 10 to 14 days, and my only legal recourse is actually file suit. And that's where they want to. I signed up to be a member, or to ask it, or see if there's any way that I can help, having experienced and actually have researched these items here in Angelina County. And also per your page, I have learned and found out so much more detail about what else is happening. And I hate to say this, but what's happening in other jails just happened to Angelina County. Verbatim. The reasons for death may have changed, but the way that the Texas jails and the Texas Rangers are handling it has not. In the opinion of the Texas Attorney General, has not. Even though we have passage of HB 30, even though we have passed legislation, we do not have a current government who will follow the law and issue these videos showing loved ones' death. It is also apparent that I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but we as citizens who pay for the jail, who actually, we are not informed of the status of the jail. We can gain no information. It's like taboo. If there's an individual who dies in a jail and there is a video, it is public information based on one, because we the taxpayers are paying for it, and number 2, it also gives us an avenue of where we need to allocate resources to actually get these individuals that are in Angelina County properly trained according to the current laws and methods and procedures that are required by the state of Texas. Once again, Angelina County does not have certificates. They do not and have not been investigated for these certificates. And we have individuals in jail who are not qualified because they're not properly trained to house inmates. Case in point, 34 requests to see the doctor, and it was determined by jail staff that they were faking it. We currently have now in Angelina County, we have 4 civil cases regarding the jail, and also violations of multiple civil rights. We have 1 case now, and I will break it to you. You can actually check It's the Lopez case where we have the Fifth Circuit who have issued one subpoena, and they had to because the fact is the individual that we're speaking of is actually currently employed at the jail. However, there's the county and also two other individuals that were subpoenaed that the Fifth District will not subpoena. They refused to issue subpoenas, even though all the details have been exposed, and this lawsuit it's not stalled. It is in the system. Now, here's a question I have for you: is that there are 3 or 4 individuals named in this lawsuit. There's only one individual been served and being held accountable for this. The other ones have not been served because this person is actually employed by the county, and he was served. But the other individuals who were a warden, an assistant warden, and a sheriff during these time frames have not been subpoenaed. Their statements have not been taken. They have not been disposed. These individuals currently right now, in this case, have not been, they do or do not know about this case. I don't know. However, the fact is the county is fully aware of these lawsuits because of the fact is they are paying for the legal representation of these individuals out of our tax money. We're paying for it to a person who is an offender and is actually responsible for a death of a detainee, and we're not getting any results from the Fifth District. We're not getting answers for them, and this is where I believe you hit on a very touchy subject, or a very important subject, is that we know per our research that the Fifth District Court has been questioned by the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals many times, having their decisions overruled because of the lack of time that they took to review the case, issue proper subpoenas, actually get everybody that was there actually on record, and pay attention to the civil lawsuits because all of the evidence is there. They just will not review it. This is a major concern, not only with me, but also Texas residents, because the fact is that what good is having a Bill of Rights if we can't sue to obtain them? Is this being done to other counties in the Fifth District Court? Yes, we can confirm. I know you guys can confirm that all civil rights cases take in the Fifth District Court 3 times longer to settle than any other district court in the United States. There is a reason for this. For sure, I don't know what the reason is, but it's actually a trend now that I'm I have access to your website. I'm noticing the same trends over and over and over and over again. So, once again, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Steve Dubose. I live in Huntington, Texas, part of Angelina County. In my email that I'm going to send this off to you, I really will give you my contact information, my email, and my phone number. So if there's any questions, any concerns, or if you need any information on this case that may help you in your endeavors to bring the Commission on Jail Standards transparency, and also quit hiding and not allowing transparency to be conducted in their county jails. One other point that I want to make: all these individuals who passed away were detainees. They had not been convicted of a crime. They had just been charged. They had not been improperly arraigned. They had not been they have arrested, but they had not been indicted. And for 36 hours, He did not even get to see a judge. A lawyer was not available to him. Every action that happened within the jail was not reported except by the county jail itself. Maybe I'm off base. Maybe I'm missing something. But based on the information that you provided me and this information, starting to quack like a duck to me. So once again, I apologize for having you do this in video. Maybe someone of you watching can just listen to the video while you're at lunch or whatever. I apologize for having you do it this way, but this is my best means available. And as I have volunteered, please ask me through my email or whatever how I can contribute. I've signed petitions for you guys, but please tell me how I can further your cause, because it's not only now just a county problem. It is a state problem, and we have a problem with a commission that fails to act legally or in the confines of the Texas State Constitution. And I got that from you guys. So anything that I can do to help your cause, please reach out to me. Please please reach out to me. Ask me. I can donate. I can do that or whatever. But I can also gather information for you. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Like I said, we cannot help ourselves and our loved ones who are dying or being totally mistreated inside our county jails if we do not band together and speak as one voice and listen to all the stories that were coming in to compare to our counties and say, and be able to make the determination as I did. This is happening across every county jail in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So thank you again. I'm sorry for the long-windedness or whatever. Any information you need from me, I will be glad to provide it for you. Thank you, and good evening.